Sometimes the pursuit of a perfect moment to share on social media comes at an unthinkable cost. Join us as we explore 5 haunting cases where influencers lost their lives while filming content. Fame blurs the line between performance and danger, and in those final moments, the camera kept rolling even as control slipped away. On the morning of July 15, 2023, a popular fitness figure known for his dedication and discipline stepped into a Bali gym, intending to demonstrate a high-weight lift for his followers. Justin Vicky, a 33-year-old bodybuilder and personal trainer, was filming content for his fitness feed, something he had done countless times before, but this time something went catastrophically wrong. What unfolded during that training session would shock many in the global fitness community and result in an irreversible loss. Justin was born Herman Fauci on March 7, 1990 in New York City, but spent most of his life in Bali, where he built a strong following in the bodybuilding world. As a well-known figure at the Paradise Bali Gym in Sanur, he was recognized not only for his sculpted physique, but also for his genuine passion to help others improve their physical health. Over the years, Justin had earned accolades, including Mr. Bali in 2015 and 2016, and had also won titles at international competitions. With nearly 30,000 followers on Instagram, he regularly shared videos, educating others on strength training techniques, safety protocols, and proper form, especially for notoriously dangerous lifts like back squats. Justin was more than just a trainer. He was a nutritional advisor, a father to a young son, and someone known in his community for being kind, humble, and encouraging. His fans and clients consistently praised his positive energy and his ability to inspire. But despite his extensive knowledge and experience, even the most prepared are not immune to risk. On July 15th, Justin attempted a 210-kilogram or 460-pound back squat at the Paradise Bali Gym. As usual, he had a spotter assisting from behind, and the lift was being recorded for social media, part of his routine educational content. In the video, which later circulated online, he can be seen lowering into a deep squat, visibly straining under the immense weight. As he begins to push upward, his body trembles. Near the top of the lift, he falters. The barbell rolls forward unexpectedly. Within seconds, the massive weight crashes down onto the back of Justin's neck, violently forcing his head forward at a gruesome angle. He collapses backward, motionless in front of horrified gymgoers. The impact fractured his neck and critically compressed vital nerves that connected to his heart and lungs. His spotter, who had also begun to tire during the lift, was unable to stabilize the bar in time. Paramedics rushed Justin to Siloam hospitals, and shortly after, he was transferred to Wangaya Regional Hospital in Denpasar for emergency surgery the following day. Despite the medical team's efforts, Justin slipped into a coma. On July 17, 2023, 2 days after the accident, he died from his injuries. The cause of death was confirmed as a broken neck with critical nerve damage leading to respiratory and cardiac failure. In the days that followed, tributes poured in from friends, fellow athletes, and fans. His gym released a heartfelt message remembering Justin not only as a coach, but also as a beacon of inspiration. The statement described his energy as infectious and his dedication as immeasurable. Many recalled how Justin always advised others to stay within their limits and train cautiously, advice tragically echoed by his own accident. One friend described him as polite, sociable, and always sharing knowledge. Justin's final video, although not officially released, has become a somber warning to the fitness world. It revealed the brutal reality of what can go wrong, even for the most seasoned athletes. The community he helped build now mourns the man who gave so much to it. He was laid to rest in his family's hometown of Jember, East Java, leaving behind a legacy of discipline, passion, and an unforgettable reminder of the fine line between strength and fragility. One evening in late July 2023, Remy Lucidi, known online as Remy Enigma, was seen climbing to the highest point of a residential skyscraper in Hong Kong's mid-levels district. For years, the 30-year-old had documented death-defying stunts from towering structures across the globe, capturing dramatic footage without safety gear. But this time, while filming yet another risky ascent, something went tragically wrong. Remy was born in France and had spent years traveling the world in pursuit of ever more extreme challenges. Since 2016, he had built a niche online, following through his breathtaking photos and videos of rooftops, cranes, chimneys, and high-rise buildings. His social media showed him balancing on narrow ledges hanging from spires or doing pull-ups hundreds of meters above the ground. He often addressed the risks in his captions, pushing back against criticism with mantras like "life is too short" and "your comfort zone will kill you." Known for his solo climbs, Remy rarely used safety equipment. His feats took him across Dubai, Thailand, Ukraine, Portugal, Bulgaria, and beyond. In March of 2023, he posted a haunting photo of himself at the top of a tower near Chernobyl, calling it "my comfort zone." Days before his death, he uploaded what would become his final Instagram post, a photo taken from Hong Kong's Times Square. Remy had recently arrived in Hong Kong and was staying at a hostel in Tsim Sha Tsui. The hostel owner later described him as fit, friendly, and soft-spoken. On the evening of the incident, he made his way to Tregunter Tower, a 721-foot residential skyscraper in the upscale mid-levels neighborhood. At around 7:30 p.m., he reportedly told a security guard he was visiting a friend on the 40th floor. The named resident later denied knowing him, suggesting the claim had been fabricated to gain entry. Surveillance footage showed Remy exiting the elevator on the 49th floor. He then proceeded by staircase to the building's highest level, the 68th floor. The rooftop access door was locked, but he forced it open. At some point during this final climb, Remy began filming with his sports camera, likely preparing content for his online followers. Moments later, tragedy struck. A maid inside the building's penthouse spotted Remy frantically knocking on the window, apparently trying to get back inside. But before help could arrive, he lost his footing and fell. His body was later discovered on a patio below. Alongside it, authorities recovered his sports camera, which contained footage of the stunt and his French ID card. Hong Kong police did not immediately identify Remy by name, but stated that a preliminary investigation suggested the man had been engaged in extreme sports. No goodbye note was found at the scene. His death is being treated as accidental, with an official autopsy to confirm the cause. The French consulate was notified shortly after the incident. In the aftermath, tributes poured in across Remy's social media accounts. Many followers expressed sorrow but also admiration, writing that he had died doing what he loved. Some called him fearless, others reckless, but nearly all acknowledged the courage it took to pursue such a lifestyle. One follower wrote, "Lived his life to the fullest, always seeking adventure, didn't let fear get in the way." Another added, "He lived fully, not many can say that." Remy's content was often polarizing. While some celebrated his daring spirit, others warned of the risks. Yet he remained undeterred, pushing physical and psychological boundaries in pursuit of freedom, adrenaline, and beauty from impossible perspectives. His final ascent now serves as a grim reminder of how high the stakes can be. In July 2023, 39-year-old Zhana Samsonova, a Russian social media influencer known as Zhana D'Art, died in Malaysia under circumstances that have raised serious concerns about the dangers of extreme dietary practices. Known for promoting a raw vegan lifestyle online, Zhana had built a sizable following through her vivid content focused on uncooked fruits and vegetables. But behind her carefully curated posts lay a reality marked by exhaustion, declining health, and ultimately a fatal collapse. Zhana had spent nearly 2 decades traveling across Southeast Asia, documenting her experiences and lifestyle on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Her diet had evolved from standard veganism to a severely restrictive regimen of raw fruits, vegetables, sunflower seed sprouts, and juices. Over the last 4 years, she reportedly consumed no salt, oil, dehydrated foods, or even water, instead replacing hydration with fruit and vegetable juices. Occasionally, she practiced dry fasting, refraining from both food and water for days at a time. Her content regularly showed her preparing simple meals, sometimes a melon with carrot juice or cherry tomatoes with avocado. She claimed her diet left her in perfect health and said she never caught colds, often crediting dry fasting with healing powers. Despite growing concern from friends and family, Zhana dismissed criticism, holding firm in her belief that her raw diet was the key to longevity and vitality. But signs of her declining health became increasingly visible. Friends reported seeing her with swollen legs and signs of severe physical deterioration. One recalled how her limbs appeared skeletal, and another described how she was so frail she could barely walk or climb stairs. A neighbor in Thailand admitted fearing daily that they might find her lifeless body. Despite their repeated pleas, Zhana refused medical intervention. She was described as cheerful and strong-willed, yet visibly unwell. Zhana continued filming and posting content during the final weeks of her life. Her last Instagram post featured durian fruit, celebrating the start of the season in Thailand. Just 2 weeks before her death, she posted a story that read, "Life is meaningless but worth living, provided you recognize it's meaningless," revealing a philosophical reflection that many now see as ominous. She died on July 21st while traveling in Malaysia. Her mother, Vera Samsonova, said her daughter succumbed to a cholera-like infection that was worsened by the extreme stress her body had endured from long-term malnutrition. Although an official cause of death has not been released, exhaustion and starvation are widely cited as contributing factors. Vera expressed deep sorrow, saying she had tried for years to persuade her daughter to abandon the dangerous diet, but her efforts were in vain. Jana had reportedly planned to return to her hometown of Kazan on the day she died. Her mother was left navigating bureaucratic hurdles to bring her daughter's body home. Friends say that in her final weeks, Jana was bedbound and barely able to move. One described her body as withering before their eyes, with only her eyes and hair retaining any signs of vitality. Experts who reviewed the case pointed out that while raw veganism can offer health benefits when practiced responsibly, Jana's extreme version lacked essential nutrients and placed her at risk for deficiencies in calcium, vitamin D, and B12, critical for bone strength, immune function, and neurological health. A nutritionist noted that her prolonged exclusion of major food groups and her refusal to supplement likely led to severe physical deterioration. Some even suggested she may have suffered from orthorexia nervosa, an eating disorder characterized by an obsessive fixation on clean eating. In death, Jana has become a somber example of how rigid dietary beliefs, especially when magnified by the pressures of social media influence, can have tragic consequences. Her story is a reminder that while food choices are deeply personal, they must be grounded in balanced nutrition, self-awareness, and medical reality. On July 16, 2024, what began as a joyful outing to one of Maharashtra's scenic natural landmarks ended in tragedy. Anvi Kamdar, a 27-year-old travel influencer from Mumbai, known for her captivating reels and stunning travel guides, was visiting the Kumbhe waterfall in Manjurna with friends during the monsoon season. Admired by hundreds of thousands for her vibrant content and adventurous spirit, Anvi had built a growing audience by sharing her experiences from destinations around the world. But that day, something went terribly wrong. Anvi had become a well-known figure on Instagram, where nearly 300,000 followers engaged with her carefully curated travel reels, recommendations, and photos. Her feed featured destinations ranging from the Maldives and Turkey to picturesque locations across India. In addition to being a full-time content creator, Anvi was also a chartered accountant, balancing her professional life with her passion for exploration and storytelling. She described herself online as someone who sought out luxury finds, unique cafes, and curated itineraries, an image that resonated with many of her followers. On that fateful Tuesday, Anvi visited the Kumbhe waterfall with 6 friends to capture the waterfall's monsoon-fed splendor. As they gathered at the top of the 300-foot-high cascade, Anvi began filming an Instagram reel, something she had done countless times before. However, amid the rain-slicked rocks and flowing water, she lost her footing. Witnesses reported that she slipped and fell from the top, plunging approximately 300 to 350 feet into the gorge below. The area was known for its natural beauty, but also its treacherous terrain, particularly during the rainy season when rocks became dangerously slippery. Her friends immediately called emergency services. First responders arrived swiftly, but faced immense challenges due to the heavy rain and steep terrain. Rescuers initially struggled to locate Anvi as she had landed on hard, wet rocks deep within the valley. A vertical pulley system was deployed to retrieve her, with 6 rescuers descending the slope while another 50 personnel provided support from above. It took 6 hours of coordinated effort to pull her out. When finally recovered, Anvi was still alive but critically injured. She was rushed to a nearby hospital in Mangaon and placed on ventilatory support. Despite the medical team's best efforts, she succumbed to her injuries shortly after arrival. Officials later confirmed that she had been filming content at the time of the accident, and that the combination of rainy conditions and hazardous terrain played a major role in the fall. Anvi's death sparked an immediate outpouring of grief online. Followers, fellow influencers, and the public responded with tributes and sorrow. While some criticized the risks associated with filming content in dangerous areas, others defended her as a responsible traveler who suffered a tragic accident. Her most recent Instagram post, which featured travel tips for monsoon destinations, quickly became a space for reflection and mourning. In the aftermath of the tragedy, local authorities issued public warnings urging tourists to exercise extreme caution during the monsoon season, particularly when visiting high-altitude or slippery locations. The Kumbhe waterfall, though breathtaking, becomes especially perilous in the rain. Officials emphasize that the combination of social media content creation and high-risk locations can have fatal consequences if safety is not prioritized. Anvi's passing also reopened conversations about the pressures influencers face to produce engaging content, often in dramatic or remote locations. The incident stood as a reminder of the unpredictable dangers that come with blending performance, nature, and digital engagement. As tributes poured in from across the country, many remembered her for the positivity, enthusiasm, and joy she brought to her audience. Her story is a cautionary tale, but also a reflection of how deeply intertwined digital life has become with real-world risk. On April 16, 2024, a day that began with excitement and anticipation for a social media event ended in sudden tragedy. Diego Kawa Oliveira Santos, a 20-year-old Brazilian influencer and musician, had arrived at Lake Salto Grande in Americana, São Paulo, accompanied by friends. Known for his flashy style, lively videos, and upbeat musical persona, Diego had promised fans a surprise live stream later that day. As he filmed content against the backdrop of the man-made lake, something went terribly wrong. Diego had built a prominent online presence over the years, amassing nearly 140,000 Instagram followers. Using the handle MC Deegan MD, he shared content that blended music, lifestyle, and a carefully cultivated image of youthful extravagance. His Instagram posts featured fast cars, studio sessions, and scenes filled with luxury and attention, often surrounded by friends, models, and high-energy visuals. A self-described singer and composer, Diego's videos included clips of his songs, such as Kavala and Mon Amour, performed against bold backdrops. He launched his account in 2019 and quickly rose to prominence, drawing a devoted following eager to watch his next move. On the morning of April 16th, Diego posted a series of carefree videos at Lake Salto Grande. Surrounded by friends and women in swimwear, he appeared relaxed, vaping and rapping, embodying the confident persona his fans had come to expect. In one clip, he teased his followers with the promise of something live later that day, hinting at more content to come. But as the group moved closer to the water's edge to record more footage, Diego attempted a stunt that would ultimately prove fatal. According to Brazil's Public Security Secretariat, he slipped and fell into the reservoir. Witnesses at the scene, including his friends, acted immediately. They tried to rescue him as he was pulled away by the current, but their efforts failed. Emergency services were called without delay, and the fire department responded, but Diego had already disappeared beneath the surface. Hours later, his body was recovered from the lake. Authorities classified the incident as a suspicious death and launched an investigation to determine the exact circumstances. An expert report was requested, and inquiries by the civil police are ongoing. The shock of Diego's death rippled through the online community. Many of his fans had seen his final videos only hours before, unaware that they would be his last. Tributes poured in on social media. His brother later accessed Diego's Instagram account to confirm the devastating news and thank followers for their support. In a heartfelt message, he described Diego as someone who had constantly motivated him to chase his dreams and never give up. He recalled the encouragement Diego had offered him throughout life and expressed the profound impact his brother had on everyone close to him. Diego's funeral was held 2 days later on April 18th at the Parque das Palmeiras Cemetery. Friends, family, and followers gathered to say goodbye to a young man whose short life had been defined by ambition, charisma, and connection with thousands of people. Despite the tragedy, his final posts remain on his profile, a snapshot of a life lived at full speed and a reminder of how quickly it all can change. Diego's death has prompted discussions about safety, responsibility, and the often overlooked consequences of chasing content in dangerous environments. Yet to his loved ones and many followers, he will be remembered as a dreamer, an entertainer, and a person who inspired others to aim high, no matter the odds.